The king of Atlantis is here, yeah. I think I'll pass on that beer, huh? I don't want smoking that bud, yeah. I don't want sip on that. Welcome everybody to episode 2 of Stranded Deep with OneToedJack. I am your host, OneToedJack. I actually recorded this episode an hour ago. I recorded this episode, it was like 57 minutes, and my mic was off the entire time. Like I said, I do this podcast here by myself. If you're a listener, I do it here by myself in my room, in my stream room, where I, do my live streams and stuff. Obviously, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see me. And yeah, man, I was recording and my mic was off the entire time, and I had already finished. I was literally closing out the podcast, and I look over to my right, and I see that my audio, like the little audio bar that shows the little graphic of like the mic moving up and down or the little icon turning on, was not doing anything. It was just blank, gray. And I went, yelled, complained to my wife about it, and then my wife said it was okay to just do it again, and here I am again, dude. However, that podcast was like 50 minutes long, and I rambled a lot, and I feel like as I was doing that podcast, I kind of got my thoughts together on specific subjects that I was talking about. And I think this one's going to be a little bit shorter, but I think my thoughts are going to come across a lot more clearer. You know what I mean? Because we're going to be talking about some tough subjects today. Not really tough for me, but tough for other people to talk about sometimes. So, kicking it off, I started off the episode talking about my new schedule. So I was originally going to upload episodes every Friday. Now it's going to look like it's going to be every Monday or Tuesday because my work schedule changed. I have a work job, real job outside of this, outside of content creation. So my work schedule changed. My off days are now Monday and Tuesday, which is weird days to have off. It is very, very weird for me. I'm usually off like Thursday, Friday, or the weekends. So now I have to record on Mondays or Saturday nights. So we'll see. Not Saturday nights, Sunday nights. So we'll see. It'll either be up Monday mornings or Tuesday mornings. In this case, this episode will be up Monday evening. If you're listening to it on Monday evening or whatever day of the week you're listening to it. But for sure, look for episodes on those 2 days. I'll update, the podcast episode, or I'll update when the podcast episodes are up on Twitter and Instagram and stuff. So anyways, that's what I started it off with. I went a little in depth on the NFL, what happened over the weekend. Since I didn't upload on Friday, I wasn't able to tell you guys my picks. I had originally picked the Eagles and the Bengals to win. However, I was wrong, obviously. I wasn't wrong on the Eagles game. I was talking about how boring the NFC Championship game was because it was so one-sided. It was so unfortunate that the 49ers lost all their quarterbacks, essentially. Went all the way down to the fourth string, and then the fourth string got hurt, and then the third string had to come back in. Big cock Brock Purdy, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, Brock Purdy got hurt. They went down to John Johnson or Jim Johnson. I don't remember his name. They went down to Johnson. He got hurt. He got a concussion, I believe. And then they had to bring back in Brock Purdy, and he couldn't even throw it, man. He was just handing it off because his elbow was busted. So it was so one-sided, man. The Eagles dominated the 49ers. Moving on to the AFC Championship. Oh, well, Eagles are going to the Super Bowl, by the way. Shout out to Jalen Hurts, man, I guess. He's balling out, man. He's balling out. It pisses me off, but he's balling out. Moving on to the AFC Championship game. The Bengals went up against the Chiefs. Both teams are actually doing pretty solid on offense, man, and defense. I mean, the game stayed at 20 points. Each team was only able to cough up a couple touchdowns. I think 2 each. And a couple field goals. So the game was, it was a slugfest for a while. And then there was a couple questionable things, man. I don't know, man. I'm not a big conspiracy theorist, but the conspiracy theorists out there definitely got a lot to chew on for these two games, man. The NFL referees did some weird shit that kind of made it seem like they gave the Kansas City Chiefs a free play. I'm going to break it down for you guys as quick as I can. On the other show, on the other episode, I broke it down pretty extensively, but that's because I was in the thought process of doing it. But now I understand what happened. So essentially what happened was the Chiefs were running a third down play, right? Patrick Mahomes was going to throw it to the left side, and it was an incomplete pass. Now, before he was going to do that play, the refs supposedly were blowing the whistle and waving their hands, beep, 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 saying, hey, yo, dead play, the clock is wrong. We got to reset the game clock, right? However, they let the play out. Then they let the punt team come out because it was an incomplete pass, so it was going to go to fourth down. Then they let the punt team come out and get ready to do a punt. And then the referees come out and say, no. The last play was supposed to be a dead play. So let's reset the game clock and let's let the Chiefs do their third down again. Now, this confused a lot of people live. I was watching it live. I was so confused. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I went to Twitter. I go to Twitter right away when shit hits the fan in the real world. And I'm like, let's see what everybody else is saying. Let's see what, maybe I caught something wrong. Or maybe something I didn't catch. And everybody else is like, what the fuck? Like, what just happened, They show a replay on TV of when Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs were originally running that third down. The referee from the cornerback side on the defense, like high up, was running down, waving his arms, blowing the whistle, right? Before the ball was snapped. The head referee, I guess, didn't see him or didn't know what the fuck was going on. Apparently, they're blaming it on the amount of people that were there and how loud they were that they couldn't hear the whistles. So they're saying that was the case. The head referee doesn't do anything. I guess that referee gets to him eventually and says, hey, man, like, this should have been a dead play because the clock was wrong. And finally, the head ref comes out after the fucking third down and says, we're gonna reset the game clock and give them the third down again. A lot of people were pissed. A lot of people say that that might have been kind of a rigged moment, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. There was a lot of other calls on the Bengals that were questionable, I could say. And, a lot of people saying like, hey, man, what's this bull crap? You know what I'm saying? What's this bullshit? I think they got like a pass interference call on the Bengals that gives the Chiefs a free first down at the spot of the foul. And they're saying that that wasn't PI. I believe it was on Eli Apple, I think, was getting his hand around receiver's hip, but he like barely grazed him. And they're saying like that's not enough for PI. But I don't know. I'm not a fucking NFL expert. I just watch the games. I enjoy them. Packers weren't there, so I was already pissed in general. I mean, I had a Joe Burrow jersey on, but I had my Green Bay chain on just to remind y'all, like, yeah, I fucks with Joe Shiesty, baby, but you know what I'm saying, my Green Bay chain stay on because they in the heart. You know what I'm saying? And oh man, it was tough to watch, bruh. It was tough to watch Joe Burrow have to go home on the last play. As the Chiefs are trying to drive down, it's tied. The Chiefs are trying to drive down to get a field goal in. I think they're about 57 yards out, I think, from what I remember. They needed to get to the 50-yard line because that's where the kicker was the most comfortable making a field goal from that far. Patrick Mahomes goes to run it to get the first down, to throw a kick up. As he's running with the ball to try to get the first down, he's going to try to go out of bounds to stop the clock. One of the defenders of the Bengals pushes him out when he's already out of bounds, gets an unnecessary roughness call, and tacks on 15 yards to wherever Patrick Mahomes had already gotten to. which I think was before the 50-yard line. So the if the Chiefs kicker, if they had not gotten that roughing the passer or unnecessary roughness call, the kicker would have had to kick it from beyond the 50-yard line, which would be like 57 something yards or something, right? In that case, he could have had a bigger chance to miss it. However, he probably wouldn't have missed it. They still wouldn't have would have won regardless. Chiefs end up kicking the field goal because of that call from a closer range and get in with ease. They become the AFC Championships, and they're going to the Super Bowl. Super Bowl looks like it's going to be, well, it doesn't look like it. It is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles, and it makes me sad to say that. Really wish it would have been the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Dallas Cowboys. Really, really wish it would have been the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Green Bay Packers. However, the Packers got eliminated from the playoffs by the Detroit Lions. From even going to the playoffs by the Detroit Lions. And there's rumors out there that Aaron Rodgers might not come back to the Packers. Might be traded. I don't know exactly how I feel about this yet. You know what I'm saying? If it's true. But I'm leaning more towards the side of like, yo, I'm kind of ready for a new era, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the Packers think that letting Rodgers go is the best move to get a new era started in Green Bay, I mean, by all means, baby, let's do it, man. Let's do it. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. So Chiefs, Eagles going to the Super Bowl. I'm going to make my picks right now. Not excited about making this pick, but regardless, I'm going to watch commercials, Rihanna halftime show. My wife's going to want to watch that for sure. So I'm going to watch. I think the Eagles take it, man. I think the Eagles are the all-around better team than the Chiefs. Now, the Chiefs got Patrick Mahomes, so you never fucking know. But nowadays, you got to say the Eagles got motherfucking Jalen Hurts, bruh. You know what I'm saying? And Jalen Hurts is balling out. The Eagles have been putting in work. So I think the Eagles are the all-around better team. I think the Eagles are the healthier team. You know, Patrick Mahomes has a high ankle sprain. Probably made it worse yesterday. He has 2 weeks to heal, but I think Jalen Hurts' shoulder is probably more healed than Patrick Mahomes' ankle. And I believe, all it takes is one hit for Patrick Mahomes to get that ankle to hurt again. I mean, for the same goes for Jalen Hurts' shoulder, but he had way more rest than Patrick Mahomes has had. I mean, Mahomes was already limping by the end of the AFC Championship game, bro. Even shit, by like the third quarter, Mahomes was limping, dog. And you could visibly tell he was struggling. You know what I'm saying? But he has 2 weeks to heal that. So he might be good. Even if he's good, I still think the Eagles are the better team all around. Defense, offense, just more solid than I think the Chiefs are on both fronts. And I picked the Eagles, man. I picked the Eagles to be your 2022, technically, Super Bowl champions for the 2022 NFL season. So we'll see. We'll see, man. That's my pick. Lock it in. I will talk to you guys next Monday or next Tuesday about how the Super Bowl went. Okay, so moving on. What did I talk about when I was talking about episode 3 of The Last of Us. Episode 3 of The Last of Us. I talked about it on my other podcast episode that I recorded that it was muted the whole fucking time. Episode 3 of The Last of Us. I said this before. Episode 3 of The Last of Us is easily one of the greatest episodes of TV I've ever seen. Easily top 10. Easily top 10. I mean, top 5, probably not. That goes to like Game of Thrones Red Wedding. You know what I'm saying? Battle of the Bastards, Game of Thrones. You know what I'm saying? Breaking Bad finale, right? Walking Dead season 2 when they find the little girl in the barn. Fire episode, right? Arrow season 2. I mean, the episode when he battles Deathstroke. Fire episode. Final episode of season 1 of The Flash. Fire episode, right? Anything else that the CW has done, trash. But I give them respect on Arrow season 2 and The Flash season 1. Gotta give them their respect, baby. But of all the TV episodes that I feel that I've watched, you know, that I come off of watching and I'm like, damn, that was a fucking fire episode. Maybe House of the Dragon is in there too. Maybe that's up in there too. There's a couple episodes of House of the Dragon where I was like, damn, this episode was the shit. The episode where King Viserys dies, bro, and he has like one last family dinner. Fucking solid, bro. The fucking half gold mask and shit. That's the shit, dog. I like that shit. But this episode of The Last of Us, I mean, I fucking stood up and I was like, fucking that is the fucking shit I fucking like right there, dog. You know what I'm saying? That was a fucking solid episode. And I'm going to tell you guys why. You know, the episode deals with Bill. Obviously, you guys know from the games. He's a character in the games. In the games, I'm going to try not to spoil so much of the episode in case you haven't seen it. But in the games, Bill comes out. So this episode deals with Bill. And Bill has a lover, a boyfriend, husband, whatever you want to say, named Frank. Now, in the video games, Frank, from what I remember, doesn't come out. Frank is already dead in the video games. In the show, Frank is a more prominent role. Frank has a more prominent role. And they kind of show a little bit more of the side of Bill and Frank and who they are as survivors and as lovers, boyfriends in a relationship together, and kind of expands on that and shows how they're surviving the apocalypse, right? And it fucking connected with me, dog, because I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna just be honest. I don't have a lot of gay friends, not by choice. You know, it's not like I stay away from them, but I just don't have a lot of gay friends. I don't really know a lot of gay people. I grew up knowing of that because I have like lesbian family members, or I had lesbian family members and stuff like that. So I was never against that, nor was I ever like weirded out by it or like I always thought like it was just a normal fucking thing, right? I was like cool, bro. Like they're fucking gay, whatever, right? But seeing this episode, and I'm not trying to sound like this episode like fucking woke me or some shit, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to sound like I'm like, oh my God, like now I know what it's like to be gay, or now I see why they want rights, equal right. Like no, bro. Like I'm down with all my LGBTQ, you know, fucking people, you know what I'm saying? Like fucking rights for everybody, dog. At the end of the day, I don't fucking care, bro, what you're into, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm down with y'all. You know, y'all want equal rights, get them, dog. You know what I'm saying? Now, but this the way this episode was shot and presented, it kind of gives me a different perspective where I'm like, and this is going to sound very ignorant of me to say, but I promise I'm not trying to come off that way. It kind of gives me that feeling of like, man, this is fucking love right here, dog. Like this is fucking love. And it's the same love that me and my wife got. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I can relate to this because from the aspect of fucking love, dog. I can't relate to it because I'm not gay, obviously, right? So, but in the aspect of love, in the perspective of love, the love that these two people have for each other, I'm like, yo, I can relate to that because this is the type of love that I have with my wife. You know what I'm saying? And I can put me and my wife in these two people's shoes and be like, damn, son, if I was in this situation, what the fuck would I do? You know what I'm saying? Because that's all that shows are, is they want to show you a perspective and they want to grip the viewer to say, if you were in this situation, what would you do? Right? Especially apocalyptic shows, post-apocalyptic, whatever, right? Like that's the way to grill in viewers, to bring in viewers, right? to be like, man, if the viewer can relate to what's going on or think, what if I put myself in these shoes? How would I do it? How would I survive? Then you can grip a viewer in, right? I mean, how many times are you watching a show and you're like, oh my God, he gonna do this. And you're thinking, oh my God, he's gonna do this. Probably because that's exactly what the fuck you would do if you were in that situation, right? And if a show doesn't do that for you, chances are you're kind of just like, yo, dog, I'm not really fucking interested in this shit. You know what I'm saying? But I got that feeling with Last of Us, dog. Episode 3. They elaborate on Bill and Frank's, relationship and how they're surviving. And I put myself in their shoes with my wife and being like, okay, we're two people doing this. The whole episode isn't about him being gay. It's not about him being a gay man in the post-apocalypse. No, it's about him and the person he loves doing what they need to do to survive, and them two being completely separate, opposite people, because Bill is a little bit more of a paranoid, serious person, while Frank is a little bit more of like an emotional kind of like, yo, we got to be nice to people. You know what I'm saying? We can't just resort to being fucking, prehistoric, you know what I'm saying? Like against everybody. So, yeah, man, I fucking really liked it, dude. I fucking really liked it. And anybody that says like, oh man, this is just some fucking woke ass shit, they're just gay to be gay, to put it in TV. Like, nah, dog. Nah, Bill was already gay in the video game, bruh. It has nothing to do with it. I think they just wanted to elaborate on what it's like for two people to be in love and survive through the apocalypse, because so far there is nobody that was in a loving relationship like this that they can elaborate on in the fucking show or in the video game. You kind of got a little bit with Joel and Tess, but you didn't really get the idea that they were fucking in love. You know what I'm saying? Not the way Bill and Frank were. And man, I was fucking crying, bro. There's this scene, like I said, I'm not going to spoil everything that happens in the episode, but there's a scene in the episode where Frank surprises Bill with a strawberry plant, right? Or a bunch of strawberry plants that he planted. And I guess they haven't had strawberries in a fucking long time because it's post-apocalyptic. It's hard to find them seeds, you know what I'm saying? And so Frank surprises Bill like, hey man, look, I made this strawberry field for you, right? Or this little area of strawberries. And they both pick a strawberry, bro. They're holding it and they do a little cheers, you know what I'm saying? They hit the strawberries together, and I'm like, damn, bro, like, shit, I do that with my wife sometimes, bro. Like, when I get a grape or when I get a little fork with some steak on it, but boom, cheers, you know what I'm saying? We're not drinkers, so we can't fucking cheers a beer, right? So we do that sometimes, man. And I was like, hey, man, like, me and my wife do that sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And then they take a bite out of it, bro, and Bill starts crying, bro. Kind of like tears of joy, right? And I'm like, damn, dog, like, my wife looks at me during the scene. My wife turns to me and she's like, yo, why am I sad, bro? And I'm like, dog, me too. You know what I'm saying? And I think about it and I'm like, bro, it's probably because like sometimes we have strawberries in the fucking fridge, dog, that like they go bad, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because we just don't eat them. We kind of take them for granted, right? And I kind of got that sense, watching that scene. I was like, man, here these guys are, having to plant their own strawberries and eating a strawberry that they haven't had in like years, and they're fucking crying tears of joy. And what if I was in this situation, you know what I'm saying? And I had fucking strawberries sitting in my fucking fridge, going bad and shit, getting a little fucking mold on it. So maybe I'm looking too much into it, dog, but I thought it was a fucking beautiful episode, man. I thought it was beautiful. They did deviate a lot from the game. I know a lot of people that play the game are going to be upset that they deviated from the game, but I think some of the stuff that happens in the game wouldn't transpire to television, or wouldn't transfer over to television all that well, because, I mean, you deal with certain things in the video game that the player controls. You know what I'm saying? Where in this case, the TV showrunners and the actors have to control as the player watches or as the viewer watches. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I don't know. A lot of people are probably going to be pissed about that, but I thought the deviation from the game was great. I thought the differences they made were great, and it still tells the story. It still moves the story forward. So I thought it was fucking solid, man. I thought it was beautiful. I liked it a lot. So now, keeping in line with this LGBTQ talk, let me get some water real quick. Sorry if you heard that, audio listeners, if that sounded a little freaky. But I'm running out of water in my little water bottle. Those of you that are viewing on YouTube, you can see it on you saw me take a good slurp out of that, didn't you? Oh, yes. Okay, so moving on. The reason I said we were going to stick with the LGBTQ topic is because there's a little something called Hogwarts Legacy coming out pretty soon. A video game set in the Harry Potter world. I'm a big fan of Harry Potter, by the way. Love Harry Potter. I told a couple homies to watch Harry Potter one time. Told them how good it was. They really liked it. Harry Potter's great. If you haven't seen Harry Potter, you should watch Harry Potter. All the films are fucking solid. They really get good after movie 3 though. You know, the movies 1 and 2, they're solid. You know, they're a good start. But 3 up until like 7, goddamn, brother. That's some good shit. There's a dilemma, or there's some shit going down with Hogwarts Legacy. So these developers are making Hogwarts Legacy. It's a fucking RPG game where you take control of a wizard and you live in fucking Hogwarts and you do all these quests and it's essentially like the fucking GTA of fucking Hogwarts, you know, of fucking Harry Potter, kind of, you know. You do a lot of quests and you make your own wizard. You could customize your own wizard. You could do all this crazy shit, spells, all this stuff, right? Now, the original creator of Harry Potter goes by the name of J.K. Rowling. She is a woman. I should add here, she is a straight woman, I believe. And she had some tweets not too long ago saying, I don't know exactly what she said, but she essentially said something along the lines of like, transgender women aren't real women. Okay, that's what J.K. Rowling said, not the one toe. All right, let's get that straight real quick. Apparently she said that. I don't know exactly what she said. That's what I'm saying, apparently. I don't know exactly what she said, but she said something along the lines of that. Obviously, the transgender people, community, are going to be like, fuck you, bitch. Yes, we are. Right? Now, no, I don't have a problem with that. You know, I believe transgender people should have rights and should be treated as such. If you want to be called a woman, you're a fucking woman, right? Whatever. That's just my belief. If you don't fucking like it, if you disagree, I don't fucking care, right? The same way that if you don't believe that a transgender woman is not a woman, okay, fine. I'm not going to fault you for it. I'm not going to hate you. I'm not like, that's your beliefs, bro. What you want me to do? What am I going to do? Fucking argue with you into oblivion until you change your fucking mind, which eventually probably you won't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't fucking care, dude. However, some people do care. Specifically, some people on Twitter who are very, very upset that some of their peers are going to buy Hogwarts Legacy because the original creator said some anti-transgender shit. Supposedly. Apparently. I don't know. Now, she did say something, but I just don't know what she said. I can't say verbatim what she said. So whatever, man. I've seen a couple tweets. I've seen a couple people. I've seen a couple articles where people are saying, yo, dog, if you buy Hogwarts Legacy, you're a fucking anti-transgender piece of shit. I think that is fucking stupid. I don't believe that if you buy the game, you're supporting the cause of being anti-transgender or supporting what J.K. Rowling said. I believe you're just a fan of Harry Potter and there's a fucking video game of Harry Potter coming out and you're going to fucking buy it. Now, there's people out there, people that I follow, people that I would consider friends at some point, say, I've heard them say, or seen them tweet, that if their friends buy, or anybody that buys Harry Potter on their timeline or anything, right, they're not going to be fucking friends with them anymore because that shows who the real person is, right? That is the most dumbest fucking shit I've ever heard. Okay? Now, are you able to say, like, hey, my friend's gonna buy this, I don't fuck with it, but I'm gonna mind my own fucking business? Yeah, you should be saying that, because just because they buy it doesn't mean that they're fucking anti-transgender. It doesn't mean they're like fucking, you know, death to all fucking transgender women and men. Like, no, bruh. Like, no, dog. Like, that's not, I don't believe that's how people feel. Now, if a person comes out and says, yo, I'm straight up, like, I don't even fuck with Harry Potter, but I'm buying Hogwarts Legacy because of this anti-transgender bullshit, then that's a different story. Obviously, you're like, okay, this guy's kind of a piece of shit. Like, why the fuck are we fucking friends with this guy, right? But to say, like, yo, man, you're buying it, so you're automatically anti-trans, like, come on, man. Like, nah, bro. I don't believe that's the way we should think about it, nor do I believe that's the way the real world actually is. I don't believe that if I was in here in a room with another friend and he was like that, and I said, yo, I'm going to buy that Hogwarts Legacy game, I don't believe he would actually tell me to my face, you know what, dude? If you buy that, you're a fucking piece of shit, dog, and you hate transgenders. That's just, I just don't think that's actually how it would be. Now, if you yourself don't want to buy it because you feel like that's supporting anti-transgender stuff, then fine. You're entitled to your fucking beliefs or opinions. You don't have to fucking buy it. Like, cool, bruh. But you don't have to fucking shit on someone else because they fucking buy it. Or you don't have to assume that they're anti-fucking whatever because they fucking buy it. That's to me that's a fucking side of being ignorant, or that's a sign of being ignorant, right? That's a sign of ignorance, right? Not only that, man, but the developers that worked on it, bro. The developers that worked on it have already said, like, yo, this has nothing to do with J.K. Rowling. Obviously, we're using the world she created, but she didn't work on this game. She didn't write it. She didn't fucking do anything. She didn't consult on it. Like, she didn't do anything. It's just we're just licensing the Harry Potter world to make a game set in that fucking universe, right? Does she get money from it? Probably, because she fucking owns Harry Potter and WB like fucking makes Harry Potter stuff, right? But also, man, look, the devs have already came out and said they don't fuck with J.K. Rowling. Secondly, the devs have come out and said you can fucking be transgender in the game if you want. You can be a fucking transgender wizard. You can be dressed like a fucking man, have manly features, have all this stuff, and have a women's voice. You can have a women's looking features, or right in the middle. You can do all this kinds of stuff to make your character look however the fuck you want it to look, right? So what the fuck does it matter? You know what I'm saying? If you can be that in that game. Another thing is, developers work on this game, man. It's people that work and create these fucking games, dude. And if this game is going to get review bombed, or it's going to get bombed and people aren't going to buy it because they're afraid that their friends are going to cut them off for some reason, and they don't refuse to buy it, and the game has low sales, even though it's a great game, chances are, man, a lot of those developers are going to be fucking fired, you know? Laid off, because the game that they created didn't perform well. At the end of the day, the WBs, the EAs, the fucking big conglomerate entertainment companies don't care if your game is good or not. Is your game gonna fucking sell, brother? You know what I'm saying? That's what that's what they're banking on. Is this game's gonna, whether this game is good or not, we want this game to sell, brother. Obviously, they want it to be good so that it could sell more, word of mouth. But it's just, I don't know, man. It's to me, I think it's unfair to the devs, especially to the devs that support, you know, transgenders and LGBTQ communities and shit, you know? I just think that's stupid, man. I think that's fucking stupid. And I think if you think like that and you're listening to this, let the OneToedJack tell you that you thinking like that is actually hurting the world. You know what I'm saying? It's taking us backwards, right? Because you're just assuming that someone is something that they're not. Therefore, you're choosing to be not necessarily hostile with them, but I mean, it is kind of hostile to be like, hey man, you fucking play that shit. I'm not your fucking friend. Fuck you. You're a piece of shit, man. Like that's pretty fucking hostile, dog. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen people tweet that shit like, yo man, if you buy this shit, if you support it, like you're a piece of fucking filth. You sack of shit. Like, dude, come on, fucking chill the fuck out, all right, bro? Like, calm the fuck down, dog. Another thing is like, dude, all these people that are saying it, they probably buy like clothes, shoes, phones, products from companies that have CEOs or creators that are fucking straight up pieces of shit, dog, and they don't think twice about it, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's rumors. I'm just saying it's rumors because I don't know if it's true. I ain't never done my research on it. But there's rumors out there that, like, Apple has, like, fucking sweatshops with, like, little kids getting paid, like, 10 cents an hour working, like, double shifts to fucking build iPhones for you. And there you are first in fucking line to buy a fucking iPhone. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bruh. You know? Like, you ain't thinking about them little kids, right? That's just a rumor. I don't know if it's true, but assuming it is, that, like, come on, bruh. You know what I'm saying? And even if they weren't kids, adults, you don't fucking treat adults like that, right? You know? I don't know, man. I mean, shit. The fucking CEO of Nike is probably like some fucking piece of shit dude who, you know, does some fucked up shit in his life, has a horrible past, and there you are lining up to get some goddamn Jordans so that your feet can look fresh, and you want to tell me that I can't buy this fucking game to be a fucking wizard? Are you kidding me? Hell nah, dog. Bro, I'll fucking dare somebody to fucking try to tell me that I can't play this, and if I do play it, I'm fucking anti-transgender. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Come on, dog. Now, it all come down to when the game actually releases, right? When the game releases, you know, we'll see. I believe it's gonna get review bombed. Obviously, like people are probably gonna fucking use bots and shit to just review bomb it on the user score to say like, yo, this game's a piece of shit, anti-transgender, whatever. But from the people that are going to review it with a real fucking, you know, a real review of the gameplay and how the game plays and your progress of your character and stuff, I think it'll be okay. You know, I don't think it's going to be like the greatest fucking game in the world. You know, it ain't going to be no Elden Ring. You know what I'm saying? But I think a lot of people, you know, are going to be okay with it. You know, I have homies that are going to buy it, and I'm telling them, because I'm not a person that's going to buy it day one. You know, it's not like I'm a Harry Potter fan, but it's not like I'm over here like, oh, man, I can't fucking wait for Hogwarts Legacy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm skeptical of this game because it's an RPG game, and usually RPG games that launch on launch, they're not really the best. You know, they don't run the best, or they have some bugs, or maybe the game is just kind of like the game has a lot of stuff to do, but the world around it is just kind of boring. You know what I'm saying? There's no there's no incentive to do all the things, all the quests and stuff. They already have like some paywall fucking blocks, which are fucking questionable. Like they have like the player versus player arena, the PvP arena that's like locked behind the deluxe edition, and you can't unlock it in the base game. So if you buy the base game, you can't unlock the arena at all. It's not available to you unless you buy the deluxe edition, which is fucked up. I think that's fucked up, but that's straight up just WB separating gamers and shit, right? People should be more mad about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should be more mad about that. But hey, I don't want to yell in your ear. I just relax. So I think that's fucking dumb, man. I mean, if I see some shit like that on my timeline, I'll think of you as a fucking mean person for thinking of some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't fucking cut you off and be like, fuck you, you're a piece of shit, you're not my friend. But I'm just like, come on, bro. Like, don't be a fucking dickhead. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I got to say about Hogwarts Legacy. We'll see when the game comes out. When the game comes out, I'll update you guys. I believe the game comes out in February. So I'll update you guys. What did we talk about? The Super Bowl, Last of Us Episode 3, and Hogwarts Legacy. Next week when we have another episode, I'll cover the Super Bowl, see what happened, my thoughts, thoughts on some of the commercials, thoughts on the halftime show, and Last of Us Episode 4, of course. Those of you that are listening, those of you that are watching, I want to thank you guys for we hit 10,000 followers on TikTok this past week, man. We're sitting at 10K now. That's fucking great, dude. That's cool. That's a cool feeling. You know what I'm saying? 10K on TikTok is fucking great, bro. That's cool. So shout out to you guys, man. I'm currently in the process of trying to get my stream on TikTok the way that it looks on Twitch, right? So we'll see how if we can get that soon. I went live on TikTok a couple days ago and actually had, like a good fucking, a good little session, you know what I'm saying? So we'll see, man. We'll see. Thank you guys so much. Sorry for this episode being a little bit shorter than usual. I try to keep it at an hour, but we're ending it off right here at about 45 minutes because I had already recorded it and it was already like at 57 minutes. But I fucking, my mic was off the entire time. So yeah, man. 40 minutes is not too bad. I got over everything that I wanted to say, and my thoughts were a little bit more fine-tuned now since I had already spoken about it before, right? So thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Stranded Deep with OneToedJack. I'm your host, OneToedJack, and I will see y'all next week. Goodbye.